If there were a man who had sufficient force, he would shake off and break through and escape from all this. He would trample underfoot all our formulas and spells and charms, and all our laws which are against nature. The slave would rise in rebellion.
It's time.
Since you mention it, I think I will start that race war. I could have swung either way, but now I'm definitely spending the next 4 years converting your daughters to lesbianism.
So I'd like to ask if people like you ever think before you open your mouths. But you took the time to write this out and memorize it, and by all appearances you practiced this snide little delivery of yours in front of the mirror. Your body language just screams narcissistic entitled bitch princess, and I'm assuming that's exactly what you were going for. So congratulations. The bootlickers drinking $9 cups of coffee in the audience, they seem to approve. And did you just confirm Baumeister's theory on female erotic plasticity? That due to their weaker sex drives, women are more likely to accept alternatives or substitute forms of sexual satisfaction? Is that what they're teaching now in overpriced women's colleges? Because I thought y'all were born this way. There's a song.
I'm gonna eat your guns.
Sweetheart, you don't want my guns anywhere near your mouth.
Swallow them lock, stock, and barrel and spit bullet casings onto the dinner table.
Sounds like a great way to get lead poisoning. But, you probably sat in the corner eating paint chips as a kid, so maybe you've already developed a tolerance. Anyway, that's your new nickname for the remainder of this video. Paint chip.
I'll give birth to an army of mixed-race babies. With fathers from every continent and genders to outnumber the stars, my legion of multiracial babies will be intersectional as fuck. Fuck.
Well, exposure to lead does lead to certain birth defects, but as far as I know, it's not responsible for any deviations in the XY chromosomes. There's only two genders, paint chip, no matter how long you gaze up at the stars dreaming. And as far as your illegitimate army of children is concerned, what are you, 24 or 25? If you get busy now, you might be able to squeeze out 15 or 20 by the time your womb dries up, but have fun completely wrecking your body, unlike a normal heterosexual male with a healthy sex drive who, left to perform the way evolution intended, could produce an actual army of offspring. And you kinda already look like a potato with a face, so I can't imagine what you'll evolve into after 3 or 4 pups. Gonna be some low-status, low-standard Wookiee pig chasers up in that wizard sleeve of yours. Yep. And since you apparently won't be asking these dudes to hang out and help raise these kids, my question to you is, who will be paying to feed and fund this platoon of intersectional troops? The rest of us. That's who. People who actually work for a living, as opposed to full-of-shit, loudmouth feminist dykes who spit shitty slam poetry and have an exorbitant amount of debt owed for an education that left her with absolutely no common sense. Are you going to hit the Middle East or North Africa on your I'm a dumb slut tour, paint chip? Because I think you might get publicly flogged or have acid thrown in your face, or somebody might throw your freaky little ass from the top of a tall building. Just saying.
And your swastikas will not be enough to save you.
What you talking about, paint chip? You do realize that people like you are the reason that Trump's president. I personally know black people that voted for Trump. I know lots of people that voted for Obama that voted for Trump. They're not racist. They're not homophobic. Has anybody bothered to point out the fact to you that Milo Yiannopoulos is a gay Jewish man who openly proclaims his love for black cock? He fills college auditoriums, and he might be saying what those people want to hear, but they're still packing those auditoriums full to see a gay Jewish man, a flaming gay Jewish man. There's 2 reasons that Donald Trump's president today. One is because he ran against the most horrible Democratic candidate in the history of Democratic candidates, And the other reason is people exactly like you, Paint Chip. You pain in the fucking ass. You arrogant, snide little piece of fucking shit turd sandwich. You are determined to turn people against you who would otherwise just leave you alone. You're determined to make enemies out of people who aren't your enemies. You fucking retard.
Because real talk, you didn't stop the future from coming. You just delayed our coronation. We still have the same deviant haircuts we had yesterday.
I don't like my hair or my skinny jeans. You fuckers really are full of yourselves, aren't you? Nobody fucking cares.
We are still getting gay married like nobody's business because it's still nobody's business.
Nobody cares. You'll notice the religious right didn't care for Trump very much. There's been no action taken to repeal gay marriage. It's the last thing on everybody's mind, except for yours. And you already admitted back in the beginning that you're going to work to turn people's children gay. You want to gay the whole place up without giving people a free choice in the matter. I thought you all were born this way. I thought that's just the way it was. It's no wonder. You have enemies. You're a minority. Accept it. You're a small portion of the population. That's how it's always going to be. Stop turning people against you before you get the fucking war you ask for, you dumbass.
There is a Muslim kid in Kansas who has already written the schematic for the robot who will steal your job in manufacturing, and that robot will also be gay. So get used to it.
Good thing he's from Kansas, huh? Because if he was living in a predominantly Muslim country, somebody might actually kill him, because that's what they do. Somebody might try and kill you, Paint Chip. Holy shit.
We didn't manifest the mountain by speaking its name. The buildings here are not on your side because you make them spray-painted accomplices. These walls do not have genders, and they all think you suck.
Yeah, the walls might not have genders, Paint Chip, but the people who built them up around you did. And my guess is that 95% of them were men. I bet the architect who designed the place was a man. And when people show up to maintain the place, I bet they're men too. Probably black men. And a lot of Mexican men. And for sure some white guys. And maybe even a homo Muslim or two, who knows. And I bet they all collectively stop and have a gander at that hot little waitress's tight little ass as she walks by. Oh, egads. The travesty. The humanity of it all. And I bet at the end of a 10-hour day or longer, when their joints ache and they have a couple of new calluses on their hands and they can't wait to get home just to have a beer and drag their asses up again at 4:30 a.m., I bet they wish each other well and to have a safe ride home in traffic, battling people who work half as hard for 3 times as much and who drive way nicer vehicles than they can ever afford on a working-class hourly wage. And since getting females into STEM fields seems harder than picking up a turd by the clean end, it's no wonder the gay kid in Kansas is probably a boy as well. So fuck you, Elisa Paint Chip Chavez. Since you spent the last 25 or 30 seconds dragging the working class's name through the mud, it's time to push you down in it for a while. Let's talk about you and who you are and what you've fucking accomplished, you useless cunt waffle. You went to Scripps College, Paint Chip, a women's university in Claremont, California, about 40 miles east of Los Angeles. Scripps was founded in 1926 by Ellen Browning Scripps, a philanthropist and figurehead of the time in the worlds of education, publishing, and women's rights. Today, the average tuition at Scripps will run you $47,164, and the annual estimated total cost of attendance, including room, board, and fees, is $61,940 US. It ranks in the top 50 most expensive colleges in the United States of America. Its mission, according to the entry on LinkedIn.com, is to educate women to develop their intellects and talents through active participation in a community of scholars, so that as graduates they may contribute to society through public and private lives of leadership, service, integrity, and creativity. You attended Scripps College from 2007 to 2011, where you earned a bachelor's degree in American government and politics. And I bet despite your overpriced education dealing with the subject, you thought Hillary Clinton was a shoo-in for president. I hope you chewed your fingers down to the bone on election night, Paint Chip. And when it was all said and done, I hope you cried your sorry little ass to sleep. And I hope you still cry your sorry little ass to sleep. Your LinkedIn bio says this: Elisa Chavez seeks a position that allows her to leverage her outstanding skill as a writer, particularly her unique ability to adopt a brand's voice, develop its style, and further its aims with exceptional acumen and attention to detail. She is particularly adept at weaving words into integrated experiences that engage targeted readers and audiences on the right channel, social or other, and device, parentheses, web, mobile. Yeah, and if you were particularly good at writing, you wouldn't have used particularly twice in the same paragraph in your online resume. Your current position at Seattle Poetry Slam, where this particular undulating and palpitating piece of performance art was staged, is described like this: craft and implement marketing and outreach strategy for Seattle's oldest weekly poetry event. Coordinate advertising needs, partnership, audience surveys, social media strategy, and assets, parentheses, copy, video. Manage social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and create weekly Facebook events. Lead discussions with organization stakeholders to develop brand voice and tell Seattle Poetry Slam's story to a broader audience. Key accomplishments: created and manage organization's first ever internal website to document procedures and compile best practices. Conducted audience surveys to discern how people discover Seattle Poetry Slam, as well as to collect audience feedback, suggestions, and standout quotes for advertising collateral. Since taking over Seattle Poetry Slam's social media channels, the average Facebook post has jumped 300% in terms of reach. Also responsible for the single most popular post of 2014. So basically, you're good at Facebook. Congratulations. You're good at Facebook and selling your bullshit to like-minded people who already bought into the bullshit and are looking to confirm their bullshit opinions and lifestyles. You spent over $240,000 to learn how to flail your arms around on stage and be facetious and hyperbolic, to prove to the world that the left, the Democrats, the historic party of the working class and the union, are the party of the multinational donor class and spoiled brat college kids who can't figure out when it's wise to shut their fucking annoying mouths. You go on to talk in this video about feeling suicidal, about feeling like you're not even sure if you're alive at the moment. I wonder if you realize that the workers in the manufacturing sector, the men and women that you just so easily threw under the bus, are routinely forced to work 10 and 12-hour shifts. If you opt out once or twice, your shoes will be filled by the next poor schlep that's desperate enough to sign up for the fucking abuse. And you'll still be broke at the end of a 60-hour week after all the bills are paid. People are dropping left and right, overdosing on painkillers and heroin, and it's hitting the working class the hardest because life itself for us is painful. Suicide is becoming the leading cause of death among males in this country, and it's because of arrogant little cunts just like you, Paint Chip. How many grants and scholarships were available to you exclusively because you're a female with a Hispanic last name? And I'm sure you found some money available for being whatever gender you made up when you were a teenager. It's out there, you poor oppressed little shit stain. So the rest of the word salad contained in this video isn't even worth addressing other than the line where you say, "We brought our fists to your little glitter fight, and that you have always been what makes America great." Well, your glitter is as plastic as you are, and when thrown and spread everywhere, it becomes a pollutant. And just like everything fake and shiny, enough of it is toxic. You have reached your fucking pinnacle, and people's tolerance with you is really waning. So I'd suggest you shut your mouth before you get what you're asking for. But you're too spoiled and stupid to do that. Paint Chip.
Even the earth found common cause with us. The way you trample us both. Oh yeah, there will be signs and rainbow-painted drum circles. And folks arguing ideology until even I want to punch them in the face. But I won't, because they're my family. In that blood of the covenant sense. If you've never loved someone like that, you cannot outwaltz us. We have all the good dancers anyway. I'll confess, I'm not sure I'm alive right now. I haven't heard my heartbeat in days. I keep holding my breath for the moment the plane goes down and I have to save enough oxygen to get my friends through. But I finally found the argument against suicide, and it's us. We're the effigies that haunt America's nights harder the longer they spend burning us. We are scaring the shit out of people by spreading, by refusing to die. What are we but a fire? We know everything we do is so the kids who come after us will be able to follow something towards safety. What can I call us but Lighthouse? Of course I'm terrified. Of course I'm a shroud. And of course it's not fair. But rest assured, anxious America, you brought your fists to a glitter fight. This is a taco truck rally and all you have is coleslaw. You cannot deport our minds. We won't hold funerals for our potential. We have always been what makes America great. I think I will start that race war. I think I will start that race war. I think I will start that race war. Steal your job in manufacturing and start that race war. War.